Hello, hello, and welcome to At Home with Lucas. So today we're going to be talking about a tower fan. In particular, we're going to talk about one that has many different features that gives you the best oscillating, the best fan, and it's supposed to be super quiet. So in this video, we're going to be doing a hands-on with the box, quick unboxing and first impressions on said tower fan. After that, I'm going to be putting this to the At Home Lucas test to figure out, is this something you should buy or maybe skip altogether? I'm here for you, so you don't have to waste your time buying and returning. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it.
All right, let's take a closer look at this bad boy. So that is actually the name of the company. There is an outline of what's to come in the box. Okay, so it looks like there is some assembly required. You have to unscrew these right here. Very simple, very straightforward. And then you go ahead and put your two plates on the bottom and you screw those in. Really simple. I like that. No screwdriver required. All right, so it comes with a little tiny remote. You have your power on, power off, you have your speed, you have your different modes, you have your auto, you have your oscillating, and your timer. IR blaster at the top, which means you're gonna have to be in somewhat of a line of sight of your tower fan for this to work, but that's cool that you have it. I'll definitely try to Velcro it to somewhere in the master bedroom. Okay, so up at the top you have more clicky buttons that you can go through. So if you don't want to use the remote, you can just come over to it and click all the buttons. I'll of course go through all of these as I figure them all out and start them up. There's also a display down here that's going to power on when this thing is plugged in. First impressions, it looks decent. It's made out of like piano glossy black. The stand went on really nice. It actually interlocks down here, which is good. It doesn't feel like it's gonna just fall right over. It doesn't feel super flimsy, so that's really nice. It's got a handle on the back, so you can pick it up really easily and move it around. And then of course it has all of the different grooves for all the venting in the back and then out the front. So first impressions, it looks like it's built well. It doesn't look like it's going to get super wobbly, but it is of course a tower fan, so these things definitely do wobble a little bit, but we won't know how well it performs until we power it up. Okay, so when you plug it in, you notice immediately you have a thermometer, which is really cool. It tells you the temperature of the area around your tower. Let's go ahead and power this thing on, and there is the display. And that fan is on low right now. That is not very loud at all. Very crisp and clear display. You're gonna be able to see that from anywhere in the room. Very nice. Let's go ahead and check out the different modes. So you have some kind of breezy forest mode, you have sleep mode, and then you have the standard mode. Let's check out the speeds. I like this dial right here. That is really nice. You're also not gonna wonder what setting it's on. Very crisp, very clear display. All right, then there's something called auto, which I don't know exactly what it does, but I think it's supposed to do something with the temperature. So when it goes up past a certain point, it'll turn on and try to keep the room at a certain temperature. So I'll definitely be testing that. And then of course you have the oscillating button right here. Go ahead and turn it off of auto. There we go. It's going to start to oscillate. It's very quiet. So on the low setting, the oscillating, it makes almost no noise whatsoever. Very cool, very simple. I like their logo thing right here. That is nice, premium looking logo. All right, coming up, we're going to be sleeping and seeing how well this keeps the room fresh. Okay, one thing to take note of is that this is a 36-inch tower fan, but if you're pointing it at your bed that's raised up off the ground, you're gonna find very quickly that you only get a couple inches above your bed. So that is something that was super annoying when using this fan. You pretty much only feel a couple inches blowing on your feet, and that is it. What it does do very well is it brings air in a big sweeping pattern across the bed and into the corners, and it does make the room feel a lot cooler and the air circulate a lot more. But I just wanted to take a quick minute and show you that you're only getting a couple inches above the bed. So you may want to actually put this on a table and get it up, you know, a foot or two more, or 3 feet more. Also, some of the other tower fans out there that are 36 inches have a pole on the bottom that brings it up even higher. So definitely take note of that if you're looking to buy this one and you're like us and you want it to cool you while you're sleeping on a bed that's raised up off the ground. You may not get as much wind on you as you think. Another thing that would be cool is if this thing could bend backwards, then you could have it shoot more up, and that would also be really nice. But nonetheless, it does its job. It sweeps massive amounts of air throughout the room and cools it off for sure. Okay, I've been using this fan for long enough that I think I have a full comprehensive review, and let's start off with how easy it is to clean. So this thing actually is a dust magnet. It is covered in white dust, which is actually from that humidifier over there. If you have an ultrasonic humidifier like that, you know what I'm talking about. It creates this water dust that's not standard dust. It comes off super easily. You can just wipe it off, but because this is piano black, it's going to show that white dust tenfold. And I kind of wish that this was a white unit. They don't actually offer a white unit. They offer a dark black, and then they offer a black. So I'm guessing dark black is piano black, and then the other black is regular. Another thing is these buttons do not light up. So at night, you have to basically go off of memory to figure out which one and where the placement is. And for some reason, I'm pretty sure that the power button should be over on the left. That's typically how these things work. You have the power button here, and then you work your way through all the different speeds and modes and whatnot. So that's confusing to me. I'm always going over here at night for the power, and it's actually over there. And then if you miss and you hit the timer, then you have to go through all the different times to get it to turn off. So you have to go all the way to 10 hours or 11 hours, and it's a lot of beeps. You're just literally pressing this thing. So yeah, it's a lot of different beeps, and if you're in a room with someone else who's trying to sleep and you're pushing this thing over and over and over again, making all those beeps, it is crazy annoying and super, super difficult to deal with. It's definitely something to take note of. Auto button here, I never really could figure it out. Definitely something that did not work for me. I would put it on auto and I would never have this thing turn on. I don't know if my room is just too hot or what the deal is, but auto seemed to be a little bit janky to me, so that was super annoying. Let's talk about the fan speeds. So I was really impressed at how much air actually comes out of here, and it's not very loud, as you guys can hear. When I turn this up, it's not very loud at all. It sounds like a normal fan on like medium or low, and yet you're getting this big gust of wind flying out of here. Okay, let's talk about the modes. So the modes, there's only 3 of them. There is this weird mode where it just basically goes from low to high, and it stays in your settings. So if you had it set on low, it's going to go through the low. I'm not quite sure exactly how nice this actually is. And then you go to sleep mode, and that's really cool for at night. Like I said, if you're accidentally pressing the timer, there is no beeping sound. So that's really cool. Back to here, and then you could set your speeds and you have the beeping sound. Another thing that I really liked is this display goes completely blank. There's no lights on the entire tower at all, and it completely shuts off, which is huge. Very awesome. Okay, there you go. It is completely black right now, completely turned off. One thing that's interesting though is you have to press the power button to wake the screen, and then press the power button to actually turn it off. So it is, it can be a little bit annoying if you're just trying to turn this thing off and the screen is off. You have to wake it and then turn off the power. I've actually pressed it thinking I turned it off and left the room, and then had the fan still running. So that's something to take note of. You have to wake the screen and then turn it off. Let's talk about the oscillating motor. So this thing is also super quiet. It does not make a sound at all, which is really nice. There's no grinding sound or anything like that. So big thumbs up for that. But you can see down here, all this white dust is everywhere, but it comes off super easily with a paper towel or cloth. So I'm not worried about it sticking to the plastic, but it definitely is something that is very ugly and will be that way until I don't have to have my humidifier on. Okay, let's talk about the remote control. So this thing is probably where you're going to be able to control this thing without having problems at night. So if you have this right by your bedside, you're gonna be able to turn it on super easily. You'll probably learn these buttons quicker than you're gonna learn the buttons on the actual tower fan itself. So power button, so the IR blaster works pretty well. You do have to kind of point it at the actual tower fan itself. And if you point it at a direction that it doesn't like, it will actually not work. So let's give this thing a star rating. So I'm going to give this a solid 4.7 star rating. I'm going to say that this fan works exactly as you'd want it to. I only have some personal pet peeves of my own, but you may buy it and be like, nope, I don't have any problems at all. Everything works perfectly. Solid star rating, highly recommended to anyone out there that wants a good tower fan that's not crazy loud and it's not going to break the bank. So definitely worth your time and your money.
All right, there you go. That's the tower fan. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely click that like button. And if you want to join the Adam Lucas family and you want to be a part of this crew, hit that subscribe button. Every time I get a subscriber, I get a boost to make more and more videos. And it's because of you guys, I surpassed 4K. Yes, people, on my way to 5K, but I need your help. Yes, you right there. Tell your friends, tell your family, this guy's on YouTube. They should go subscribe and watch my channel. But as always, I thank you for watching each and every one of my videos, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.